Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. And if you're new here, hello, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, do all those good things. This is Motor Mike Media, and as always, I'm Motor Mike, and today my dad finally got his new car. If you watched the last video, we talked about the Escort, my good car that I started the channel with. I gave it to my dad, or sold it to him. He had it for a while, but he wanted something a little bit bigger, a little bit more comfortable. So he traded in the Escort and got this. A Lincoln Mark VIII. This thing is sweet, so let's talk about it. Just look at it, guys. This Lincoln Mark VIII, it's a big, bold coupe from Lincoln. The last coupe they ever made. This is one of the last land yachts. And what I mean by that, it's a big, big vehicle made for luxury, for comfort. A big V8 up front, rear-wheel drive. This has independent suspension, and for its time, was pretty advanced. This thing, it looks sleek, and this one's a sporty one, as you can tell. This has the body matching panels here and there, the body matching grille. Other versions of this had lots of chrome and stuff. I like it like this. It kind of makes it a little bit sleeper car. But let's go inside. Before we go inside, just look at the silhouette. A big long coupe. Nothing too edgy here. All the body lines are pretty smooth, but this is low. It's got the chrome wheels. When you walk up to the vehicle, big long doors, but you can see the door handle's recessed. You have the old school panels here, so if you want to lock your vehicle, you can use this to unlock it. Opening it. Big doors, like I said. Now this is like the tan interior. I personally prefer the black interior, but this does look good. You can tell. This material here, it feels pretty good. Nice, soft right here. It's really plush. You have the old controls that Ford used to use. They're inlaid in chrome because this is fancy. You have power memory seats, which is very fancy for back in the day. This has the advanced audio system, so the speaker wraps around. The little chrome handle. But look at these seats. These seats, they're in pretty good shape. Yes, it needs a little repair right here, but they're comfortable. It's like a big couch, but it does have nice bolsters. And look at the dash. This was futuristic, like a UFO. Wraparound dash. You have your old controls right here. You have CD, cassette, HVAC controls. This vehicle does have a sunroof, but it's a big old coupe, and there's a back seat, so let me try to get in there. So like I said, this is a big coupe, but there is a back seat. Now, is it usable? Let's find out. So power seats, of course, power adjustable lumbar support. So you can move the seat forward. There's a latch in the back. When you pull that, the whole seat goes forward. Oh. Now, I'll be honest. It is tight back here, especially with the seat like this, but it's actually comfortable. This seat here, it's nice and plush. I have a nice place for my armrest, a speaker right next to me, and a nice sized window, so it doesn't feel too enclosed, and it is comfortable. I would only want to be back here for a short distance, but for luggage or kids, this is pretty good. So the back of the Lincoln Mark VIII, this big back windshield, you can see as it slopes down, it has the old school Continental bulge. Now obviously the spare tire's not right here, but it's kind of a classic thing to do. And a light bar going all the way across. Now this is just incandescent, and because it's the colored matching, the sporty trim option, this is all body matching instead of being chrome, but I like this. Lincoln and other vehicles did this back in the day to be futuristic, and it's come back around. Nowadays, LED light bars like this are modern, and it's really cool to see that this thing has aged quite gracefully. So this has a big old hood. I lifted it up, but I really like these headlights. I like the color matching grille, like I said, and it exposes this big old V8. A 4.6 liter V8 engine. It makes like 290-ish horsepower in this configuration. Now this engine was used on a lot of products. By today, those numbers seem kind of weak because we have 4 cylinders making this kind of power. But this is a smooth power plant, and because it was in so many other Fords and Lincolns, there's a lot of aftermarket components. You can actually turn this car into a sleeper. There's been like 3 or 4 videos I've seen where people put a manual transmission in here and bump this out to like 380 horsepower. We probably won't do anything like that. This is just supposed to be a nice, comfortable car for my dad. But I like this engine because it's easy to work on and there's so many aftermarket components. And for its time, it made pretty decent numbers. So I really like this thing, guys. It's in really good shape for how old this vehicle is. It was well maintained. Now the paint's doing pretty good. The hood was repainted, but there's a few things we can do. We can wash this vehicle up, give it a good polish and clay bar, and then a ceramic coating to help bring back the shine of the paint. Now, these rims, these are optional ones. They're pretty luxurious for its time, but I believe they were chromed at least once. They don't look the best. Now, you can put some Mustang wheels on here to give a little bit of a sporty edge. We'll see what happens in the future, but we got some new tires on here, which is always nice. Now, there's a few scratches, a few small dings, but the mirror here is probably the biggest casualty. This little piece of it right here broke off, and when you actually go to adjust it, it doesn't want to move anymore. Now going online, because obviously this vehicle's old, the used ones of these are like 200 bucks. So we're gonna take a little time, do some research, hopefully find one that's cheaper. Because if you find one that's a different color, you still have to repaint it, so it costs a little bit more money. But that has to get replaced. Other than that, a good wash and maybe some new rims, and the outside's good. Let's go on the inside and I'll show you one little thing that's broken there. So I wanted to start with this door panel. This actually has some nice stitching. This is leather that's nicely padded. I didn't mention that before. But when you go up, everything curves. Over here, that's where the crack is. So this piece of plastic trim is broken, but the rest of the dash is in really good shape. Like I said, this was advanced for its time. It's a little computer that hooks up that little screen. It's super dated by nowadays standards, but the overall dash has held up quite well. And this gauge cluster, it's pretty simple, but it's kind of classy. This was a nice, luxurious vehicle for its time, so let's go for a drive. So driving the Lincoln Mark VIII, this is a true American land yacht. I sit here, I'm super comfortable. These seats feel like a couch. Now, back in the 80s and early 90s, a lot of the seats looked like couches, they felt like couches. This is a little less couch look-like, but it feels comfortable. I have nice bolsters that actually hold me in place quite well. They're adjustable. Like I said, the seat is full adjustability. The door panel's nice, a nice place to rest my arm, a commanding view. These pillars are nice and small like the old cars were. The overall look out the front, you have this big bulge in the front, this long hood, and it's just so comfortable and smooth. Now this vehicle, it was advanced for its time. This is a V8 rear-wheel drive, but we have air suspension in the back, so it lifts us, giving you a nice smooth ride. That's also the Achilles heel with these vehicles, is over time when that system goes bad, it can be a little expensive to replace it. Most people just kind of ditch the airbag altogether, but this one's working and it works great. When you start up the vehicle, you can hear the compressor come on, it lifts the vehicle up, and so luxurious. Overall, the sound's actually pretty good. I hear a little bit of the engine sound, but everything else is nice and quiet. There's no panels that are really rattling. This thing was well maintained. It's got about 89,000 miles on it, original miles. Like I said, the hood was repainted, but other than that, it was just well maintained. This thing is sweet. I have a little computer here. I have heated seats, CD player, cassette player, a lot of luxury things back in the day. Now, this vehicle, like I said, was class leading for the American brands when it comes to a coupe like this. Now there were some German cars, some Japanese cars that were a little bit more advanced than this, a little bit more luxurious, but those were more expensive. For a vehicle priced like this back in the day, this was one of the best, and it's sad that this was the last Lincoln coupe. Alright guys, so that's my dad's brand new car, or at least new to him, his Lincoln Mark VIII, a big American land yacht, V8 up front, independent suspension, airbags in the back. A luxurious interior, and for its time was very technologically advanced. But I really like this thing. Now we'll do a few mods on it, maybe do a few videos on it, but that's all I have for you today. I thank you all for watching, and if you haven't already and you want to, please check out my channel. I keep trying to give you guys more and more content. That's about cars, trucks, crossovers, and SUVs. Combustion engines, just like this, and EVs, a little of everything, but please, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you guys can stay up to date with the latest and greatest for my channel. And as always, I truly, truly appreciate you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.